through the mud. We've been through the mud. All right, it's recording.
All right, hello. It's Vibemalls here.
Vibemalls is in the cut. To say it mildly, we've been trying to get this interview done all day. We were about to do it before work, and then I
The
went to
computer
work for
broke this
seven
morning,
hours.
bro.
Yeah, that shit was annoying. But at least it generated a lot of time to formulate a user
A bunch of
generated
questions.
questions, as well as a
Hell
couple of
yeah.
personal curiosities on my own. And tell us
Yeah, in a
about
little
that
chat
profile
before.
picture. You told me you created that from using Nazgul art. Tell us about that.
Um, yeah, well, my usual process for making any art is I go on Pinterest and I kind of find a base. This guy's from the Lord of the Rings, right?
Yes, it is. The Nazgul. He's the king of the. He used to be a king of like the men, but then he's kind of turned into this like neither living nor dead weird being that Sauron uses to hunt down people with the ring in the Lord of the Rings.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay.
also
Yeah,
the mouth
I've
on
never seen the
top.
Lord of the Ring movies.
But also the mouth on the top of that is actually Sauron's mouth from a scene in the movie where he like possesses an individual and talks to like the good guys through this person's like fucking possessed mouth. It's spooky
Oh
shit,
wait,
but I
so these
love
are
it.
both of these are from Lord of the Rings?
Yes, the mouth on top, I'm pretty sure is from Lord of the Rings.
Oh, okay. It's actually awesome. I didn't even know that. I've just my usual process for making this kind of art. I call it photo manipulation. Um, so I go on Pinterest and I find a base, right? The the guy in the middle, he was my base, and then from that I find images circulating around that, and then I just formulate it from like a bunch of different images. Like sometimes
Yes.
it can go up to an hour to 2 hours to 3 hours, just finding the right images for everything.
Yeah.
And then I added this kind of bony layer on
The
the
color
back of it.
palette or
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah, yeah.
the way the
It
colors
was
look
I
very
was really
bony.
sure it was an art of a bunch of different bones, and so I just put that on top, and then I duplicated and I put it on bottom. It's really just um, positioning and erasing. That's like I feel like that's 80% of the work is positioning and erasing. Um,
Yeah, it looks pretty goddamn unique. I mean, you got people like, you got some. Didn't you say you got a couple schema people using your art and
yeah,
Jake Ohm? Jake Ohm's last funk tape was used your cover art, and I love that
yeah.
tape. I
Jake's
listened
Jake's
to
the
it.
homie.
Yeah, I listened to that during that work the other day. It's pretty fire.
You talking about the crash and burn one?
The one with the Evil Dead cover art. Evil Dead. You probably. I don't know if you've seen all the movies. You
No. Oh,
reference
I know what you mean. Yeah,
the giant. Yeah, Tales of the Funk, the EP.
yeah. I love that one. That one's so fucking hard. It's one of my
Yeah.
favorite covers that I've done.
There's always
Jake's
something to look
actually
at. Like whenever I look at your like cover art, there's something where I go back to it and I'm like, oh shoot, like there's that in there. Like and like today I looked at it and I'm like, dude, that's an Evil Dead 2 that you pulled like, and I'm just like, whoa, that's what good art is. You're constantly looking back at it. So big ups to you, bro.
I appreciate that. I'm always trying to do something new, because I look at it from a viewer standpoint, right? And I think about, I'm like, as as a support, if I was supporting myself, right, I wouldn't want to always see the same thing. Like I do have
Yes.
presets, that personal presets that I made for myself, but I always try to go with a new theme or a new like idea because I don't just want to formulate off of something that I already made because for me it's boring to make and it's fun. It gives my audience a new thing to look at. It's like completely all my art is almost completely different from the next one. I did do a selection collection of three metal inspired arts, but
Yeah.
other than that, a lot of my art is very different from the next one that I make. Even my collection of saga edits I did, like the Suicide Boy saga edits, they're all different from each other. I don't think any one of them is alike.
Yeah, you like make a lot of those cool little edits. Just I mean, like they're not like the most creative things ever, but it's cool to just scroll on your feed and see them and like whoa,
Yeah.
it's just like a cool, fun little thing to see, and I'm pretty sure it's fun to make.
Oh, it's very fun to make. I put a lot of hard work into my stuff, even though I do make it with other art. I do it to the point where I make it so personalized and I change it so much that I don't even consider it to be the original art that it was, because with either the color coding or the erasing certain parts, it's completely different from the art that I originally used, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. You know, that photo manipulation thing. And I hope that fucking gets used in a dictionary one day to describe what you're doing here. Because a lot of people, they get a stigma. You know, I showed one of my friends your thing, and he was like, it looks cool, but he looks like he just pulls from a lot of thing. But, like, I fuck with it. And I feel like, you know, you're trying to be unique, but you know that you're going to be pulling from this, that, and the third. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
Do you
No,
really
I
have the
completely
three
agree.
hours to draw a fucking ring wraith from Lord? Do you? No.
No, I mean I
Like,
can't draw. That's the thing. That's why I started doing this technique, is because I'm horrible at drawing.
so you're working with what you
I
got, and I can't
Yeah,
knock that.
yeah.
I can't knock that. I really can't. And you seem like you have a lot of quote unquote loyal customers, but you also are kind of involved with your little collective thing you got going on. What's that called?
Oh, Pipe Gang. Yeah.
Yes, talk about that. How it originated, how you joined. I'm interested to hear that.
Well, I don't exactly know the origin story because I haven't been around for the origin. I do know that it started from my brother. We're not related, but that's another story we can get into. So it's the Cash and his brother Koichi. They started this group called Pipe Gang, and I'm not really sure the origins exactly, but I'm pretty sure it was supposed to be a rap group. And I met Cash at a Pouya concert in line because he's wearing this fuck Russ shirt, and I really like this shirt. And I randomly asked him, like, "Hey man, I really like your shirt. Can I take a picture of it?" He's like, "Sure." So I took a picture of it anyway. Hours later, at like nighttime the same day, he actually hit me up because he saw, somehow he fucking found the picture on Instagram. I'm pretty sure because I tagged Ace of Spades. He was looking at Ace of Spades, and he found it and he DM'd me. And then that was just like that picture is so legendary to me because it started our whole friendship, and I consider him my brother because he's been more family to me than fucking anybody.
Based out of Sacramento,
And
right?
yeah, yeah, we're both in Sacramento.
Repping
And
Sacramento.
anyway, as time went on, I found out that he had this collective called Pipe Gang, and I just supported him for a really long time, and I didn't really join it per se because I had nothing to offer, but we had this group chat uh, going on with a bunch of our friends, and just at a one time he just renamed the group chat Pike Gang Dead Boys, and we've just been, me and a bunch of friends of mine have just been in this kind of group chat, and we just name it our collective together. It's Pike Gang, and we have a bunch of talent in there. We have producers, we have rappers. I'm the cover artist for it, but Jake also makes cover art for other people. Jake
Jake Ohm.
and it's just a
Shouts out to him.
really tight knit group of people. Like I can rely on them for anything. Like if I need some money, if I need somebody to talk to, I know I can go there, and we're always talking in this group chat like every day. And it's just a really neat group of people. I consider it a once in a lifetime thing because they're literally all my brothers. Like I consider them my family.
That sounds pretty beautiful, man.
It's
Nice.
very unique.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Collectives are great, and I feel like you got a lot. That's probably gonna be beneficial when you got something to work on, you know.
Hmm.
But like also emotionally, I hope it
Yeah.
sounds like there's emotionally supportive people
Oh,
in
definitely.
there,
Oh,
and
definitely.
you know they're not just looking at your existence as a business from a business standpoint, and I feel like that's probably due to because you know them for a while and all that. So
Hmm.
that sounds fire, bro. Yeah, how's the relationship with Jake Ohm start? Oh, wait, no, no. Actually, let's talk about you got kicked out of the Pouya concert. That was funny as shit. You told me about that earlier. You
Oh
got
my
kicked
god.
out of the
Okay, so
Pouya concert.
this is what it was actually that's where I met it's the Cash was at this play concert. So me and my best friend a while back, I think this was, I want to say 2018. So this was like 2 years ago. Uh, I was in line to this concert, right? And I had brought weed with me. And so I was already pre gaming before I even got to the concert. Me and my best friend were smoking some joints. Anyway, we happened to meet up with someone that my best friend knows. Like he didn't even know that this guy was going to be there, and he had like this big ass bottle of Jack Daniels. And I swear, I drunk so fucking much that I was crossfaded in the line. I was partying in line, and before I even got to the fucking venue, bro, the security guard walked in the bathroom because he saw me. He heard me throwing up, and he was like, "Bro, you can either take a breathalyzer or you can get the fuck out." And at the time, I was underage, so I'm like, "Shit, I'm not gonna fucking use the breathalyzer."
You had the
So
dip.
I dipped, and then after that, I actually ran into fucking Pouya backstage, or not backstage, but
Didn't you
behind the
scream,
building.
Pouya?
Yeah, I was like, I turned around, I was like, "Oh fuck, it's Pouya!" And then his brother thought I was like some fucking crazy Stan fan or some shit. I thought I was gonna do something, and I thought he was gonna hit me, bro. Like he just like hella aggressive. He's like, "Hey, you need to get the fuck out of here. People aren't supposed to be around here." Even though the Ace of Spades venue was like over by a street, I can still understand like the concern, because I could have been like some crazy fucking fan that had like a knife or something. But yeah, that's the story.
Yeah, you could have been a stalker, but they don't know this, and maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I completely understand. It's a very funny.
We gotta
story.
get Pouya to ask you for some cover art. I'll figure it out. Maybe. That would be amazing.
I'm pretty sure Pouya's retiring though.
Yeah, but if they're gonna retire, then they're gonna drop it. This final album that's gonna be big, and then when they run out of money in 3 years,
Well, no. Apparently, this Fat Nick, this album, Drop Out of School 2, is supposedly his last album. But I think he's just saying that just to get some publicity for the album.
Yeah. Do you really think Logic is gonna really retire? I mean, maybe. I really liked his last album.
Think so.
I don't. I feel like he's gonna. I feel like at least though, with this retirement though, he actually seems like he's smart with it because he's doing the Twitch thing. He's got a bag. He's finding a way to make money besides rapping that is reliable. Twitch is huge for him and stuff like that. And he actually released this beat tape, Logic, and it was he just released it on DatPiff and all these free accounts. DatPiff.com. This is a certified hood classic.
That's fucking hilarious.
Trapaholics mixtapes, bitch.
Yeah, I listened to Logic a lot in middle school, and I haven't listened to him since. It's like when I started listening to Suicide Boys in 2017, it brought me into this fucking
world
rabbit hole almost of this whole different genre of music. Because I was listening to mainstream music. I was listening to Young Thug, Kodak Black, Shoreline Mafia. The only person I listened to of that kind of underground essence was Lil Peep, but I didn't really listen to him a lot. I only listened to his popular songs at the time. But when I got into Suicide Boys, man, just all the fucking legendary people that Dave collabed with just fucking brought me in this whole just fucking new genre of music, and I didn't even know that I fucking loved this kind of music. Underground hip hop. All the people that they collabed with. Pouya, Ghostman, Denzel Curry, Omen, fucking everybody that they've collabed with, Germ.
Yeah, it really takes one person.
This whole new thing.
Really takes one person.
Honestly.
That's how I was with I didn't know who any of these people were that we're all talking about now 6 months ago. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
So I was writing a lot of. This is how I got into this rabbit hole that I think both of ourselves are in currently and delved into. So I was writing a lot of music and stuff like that a couple months ago, and I constantly would scroll through Netflix and I'd see Everybody's Everything. I was like, okay, this Lil Peep guy, everybody's talking about him. I've never listened to his music.
Oh, is this how you found Jay Green?
Yes. So
oh
listen.
My God.
So listen. So I listened to So I watched Everybody's Everything. And I watched it about 6 times. For some reason, without listening to any Peep song at all. Just never listened to any Peep music ever. Never even, not even his most popular songs. Never heard Witchblades. Never heard Star Shopping. Never heard Beamer Boy. I've always just heard his name.
Right.
you know, and a lot of girls post them on a story. And then I was like, and I grew like infatuated with Peep. And then after then, I was like, well, who in the documentary was like my favorite to like hear about? And I was like, oh, Jay Green was probably the best part of the documentary. Like, he seemed like he actually like was it, you know, he had like, I just loved like the way he talked about things and the way that he was like really real about
Yeah.
things. Like, you could tell he
Yeah.
wasn't trying to present a story. You know, he
Right.
wasn't
He was
trying to
just
present a
speaking it.
story. He was just like, yeah, so Schema Posse was like Wu-Tang, you know, with the you
Hmm.
know, and we and then after then, you know, I go to the No Jumper interview, and then I sing, and then I remember Craig Zen, and then I see like some video of Craig Zen explaining like the story, and I was like, oh shit, I love Craig Zen. And then I started listening to like Goodfellas by Craig Zen, and then I like there's Pouya, and then I go to like, and then Jay Green, and then I learn about Sempra, and then I learn about Ghostman, and then I learn
That's
about,
so awesome, dude.
and then I learn about all these people, and then about like 3 weeks ago I figure out what funk is, and and
Oh,
then,
okay.
and you know, I've always heard funk music, but I never heard the actual terminology of
So
funk.
this was really recent.
Yeah, but like, you know, this is just me. I'm just hype that you're like
I get what you
involved
mean,
with
man.
these people though. Like Jake Ohm, tell me about how you got involved with Jake Ohm. Like, so fire.
So, okay, I'm gonna preface this. I do not have the best memory. Actually, my memory's pretty shit. But so Jake joined our group chat, the Pike Gang Dead Boys group chat. I don't remember when or I don't remember how, but he did join it, and he made this. Pretty sure he made this beat for Cash, and this dude, his beats are just fucking sick. I mean, and he's just such a nice, genuine person. When he talks, he's very intellectual. He knows what he's talking about. He never talks out of his ass, and he's just such a nice, fucking cool guy. And he saw that I make cover art, and this was probably a year ago. So my cover art was nothing like it is now. I mean, it was pretty fucking dog shit. I was still trying to find my style.
Yeah.
And he asked me to design this cover art for him. And honestly, at first, I thought he was kind of like not a dick, but he was very difficult to work with at the time. That I thought, because what he
Jake.
wanted for the cover art, yeah. Well, what he wanted for the cover art is that I was like having such a difficult time doing it, and I couldn't like really we weren't clicking on the same page
But did he stick
necessarily.
with you though?
Yeah, oh, he stuck with me and our whole group, and as time went by, he asked for another one, and then we clicked on that. We actually clicked on that a lot better, and I was like, holy shit, this guy's actually legitimately good to work with, and he's super easygoing. But it's just something that just didn't click on the first project that we made, and I tell everybody in our little group that I'm like, hey, because there's a lot of music makers in this group. I'm like, hey, if anybody here needs cover art, let me know. I'm plugging. I got you guys. You guys are like family to me. He he told me when he made me do the cover art for him. He told me, he was like, hey, what is your rate? I will pay you for this. I'm like, no. You don't need to pay me. He's like, bro, I feel like every artist should be paid for their hard work, no matter, what it is. If it's art, if you put hard work into it, and I did. I pour my soul out into every piece that I make, and he gets that, and he paid me. He paid me my usual rate, and which at the time was probably like 15. It's increased over time as I got better, but that's just how we became so close. And he's just such a cool fucking guy. Definitely check him out. And actually, I'm pretty sure, not pretty sure, he created his own genre of funk beats. It's called Detroit to Memphis Funk, and it combines a lot of Detroit funk with Memphis funk. And apparently, I didn't even know this, but that's like never been done before. Like the way he does it has never been done before. It's completely original. Like
The funk is
his
like his
beat
beats are
patterns and
good enough.
everything.
The beats are good enough for the. I want to tell the audience the beats are good enough to listen like without. You don't need to like these beats aren't just to be rapped on. Like you can actually
Yeah,
listen to an
exactly. That you could
album
listen to them like a song.
top to bottom, no rapping. Like that's how good the beats are. Like and that's why
Exactly.
the type of funk I like with that, like Sly. He makes some
Hmm.
really good tapes, and I know like his last tape, I'd say like half of it was him rapping, and half of it was like
Hmm.
just beats, and like
Oh, I love Sly, dude.
that's not done. Like that's not really
Hmm.
done. You know, not a lot of people do that. Like where they just don't rap on a couple tracks. And I feel like that's what's cool about the funk community is that they're so focused on the production.
Exactly.
They care about the music, and there's like people that like Dominus Soul who are just working on some good ass shit.
Hello.
What?
Oh, hello.
Hello?
Oh wait, hold on. Uh, it just fucking glitched out for like a whole minute. I did not get anything of what you said.
I was just saying funk community is so focused on their beats and shit. And it's
Right.
unique. It's unique because of that, because they're so focused on the production compared to other people that just like find some random YouTube beat and they just like that
Exactly.
with the piano to melody, the whole like
Hmm.
like and I'm not saying all YouTube beats are bad, but just funks. There's something special about it, and I'm starting. It's interesting. It's an interesting
Yeah,
form.
I fucking love funk. Hey, do you listen to Soulze by any chance?
Soulze, might have heard of him. I think you
Yes.
might have mentioned him to me. Maybe
Definitely check him out, bro. That is my favorite artist right now. I mean,
is
Soulze,
he on Apple?
he's on everything, bro.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
listen
You
to all my
told me
music
him.
on YouTube,
Yeah, you told me.
but dude, Soulze is you. I can literally be in any mood, happy, angry, sad, mad, fucking any fucking mood. I put on Soulze, dude. I can vibe to it in any mood I'm in. I
Dude, I
mean,
saw
he
a
makes
comment.
soul,
Dude, I saw a
huh?
comment where you were like, somebody commented on your thing, and it was like, "Is this on sound? Is this on Spotify?" And you were like, "Why pay for Spotify when you can listen to shit on SoundCloud and YouTube? Like, will you never
Uh huh.
pay for a streaming service?"
No, I have like back in middle school. But as time went by, I don't really think that paying for music that you can listen to for free just to get rid of a 30-second ad for me personally makes no sense. Because if I can go on YouTube and I can go on SoundCloud and I can listen to music for free, I'm gonna do that. But I do want to preface this. I do get that Spotify is a big moneymaker for a lot of my friends that make music. I mean, everybody that I know that makes music, Spotify is their biggest payer. And I
Mm.
get that, and I appreciate that they can have a platform that can make them, you know, more money than other things. But for me personally, I don't have the money to do something like that. I'm very cautious about how I spend money. I'm not greedy, but I am just very cautious about how I spend
You
money.
make
So
me
I'm
want to
just not
cancel my
gonna.
fucking subscription now, bro.
Well, but listen, but because of that, I also support everybody that I listen to, full fold. I mean, I repost their things to my story. I always on SoundCloud I repost their albums and their EPs and their tapes, even if I don't like it, even if I'm not gonna like go and listen to it again. I still support them because I support them as an artist and I support what they do. That's why I'm very picky. I'm extraordinarily picky about the music that I listen to because I don't just have to like the music. I have to know who the artist is behind the song, who
Yeah.
they are, what they represent. Because I'm not gonna be listening to someone. I'm not gonna be clicking with someone if they're a fucking dickhead. I mean, that's not what I'm about. I'm very, like I said, I'm very cautious about who I listen to and who I support. Because I've supported some pretty shitty people. Like we were talking about earlier, you wanted me to talk about an embarrassing time that had to do with my cover art, right?
Yes.
Well, there was this person, which I will not name them, um, just because I don't want to start anything. Um, they had bought cover art from me. It was actually a pre-made. Pre-mades are cover art that I had already made, and people buy it from me for like a lesser price than my customs. Anyway, he had bought a pre-made cover art from me, and it was something made way back in 2017. One of my saga arts. We'll get into that too, but he bought this cover art from me and he really liked it, right? And so about a week later, he requested another one. Now, before this incident happened, I was allowing people to pay me after the work was done, just in case they weren't satisfied. But what had happened is this dude told me that he was gonna pay me. He just didn't have the money. And we were working, and I worked really, really hard on this thing that he wanted. And just he was like, "Oh, I don't feel like paying you." I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Oh, well, the image that you use, like I've seen that somewhere else." And I was like, "I already told you this. This is how I make my work. I do it through photo manipulation." And he understood that beforehand, and
He just
he
didn't pay
took this
you?
cover art, and he still has this cover art on his project. Like he still used it and everything. He didn't pay me for it. And I was so fucking pissed off, bro. I'm like, why the fuck would you tell me that you don't like it or blah 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 if you're still gonna use the cover art that I made for you? Like that just makes zero sense. So I because of that I implemented a policy that if I make you cover art, you have to pay me beforehand. But if for some reason I can't bring your idea into fruition, or I can't make it for you, or you're not satisfied, I will 100% without a doubt give you your refund. You just can't use that art, right? So I guess I had to go through that in order to bring that policy because it could have been a lot more money and I could have been a bigger incident, but luckily it wasn't. But that was pretty fucking embarrassing. I felt
Damn.
embarrassed. I was like, damn.
Damn. Yeah, you gotta be. Yeah, I don't. I mean,
Damn,
I
damn,
haven't. I
indeed.
mean, I'm sort of beginning with this whole YouTube thing. I mean, I've been doing it for a while, but like with this channel, I haven't had like an
Taking it more serious.
embarrassing taking it more serious. Yeah. The only embarrassing moment I had is bullshit because I'm an opinionated person. Is oh shit. My headphones fell.
You
Fuck.
good?
Alright, did you just say something?
I said you're
Fuck, they
good,
fell
bro.
again. Oh my god, bro. I'm
My
sorry,
man's over here
listeners.
fumbling. He's fumbling.
All right, I'm just gonna stick still. I mean, I had coffee. I'm all fucking jolted. All right, so I reviewed my friend's album. I'm not gonna say any names.
Okay.
I reviewed my friend's album, and he had a couple features on it, which I thought were very disappointing. And in the review, I didn't want to talk about like the features of the album that I didn't like. It was from this one guy, and so I was like reviewing the album, but I didn't really want to mention this guy's music because I didn't really have a good opinion on it, and I didn't like his music. Right. And even when I did mention him, like once, it was only for one of the songs he was featured on. He was featured on 2 songs. So I mentioned I was like, yeah, the hook's okay on this song from this guy. And I didn't even mention him on the other song. So then after the review is out, the guy DMs me, and he's like, you didn't mention me in your review. I feel like I should have been given credit for something, and you feel like you're not appreciating my art. And I'm like, first off, it's not even your project. It's something you're featured on. I'm going to talk about the lead artist over anybody. Second off, if I didn't mention you, there's probably a reason behind that you'd probably don't want to hear. And like, yeah, just people get, people, not everybody's gonna be not every scenario is gonna be perfect in this whole art sort of world we're in. Not everybody's gonna be able to appreciate like what you did.
I completely agree.
Yeah,
that's one thing that I've always stuck with is, especially from my friends, if I hear a bad song, I'm just gonna straight up tell you, bro. I'm gonna tell you that it's shit. I'm gonna tell you how I feel. Because how are you supposed to improve upon yourself if you always think your music is the shit and you always think what you're doing is good? Because if you don't get an honest review, if you don't get an honest opinion, how are you supposed to improve upon an aspect if you think what you're doing is like perfect, right? Because if you keep doing the same thing over and over and over again and you think it's perfect, you're not gonna want to improve it because you think that you have the steady thing going. So, I mean, I'm always honest with people about the music, but I get what you mean. You didn't want to start drama or anything.
Yeah. But I don't follow this guy on Instagram anymore, and I'm never going to interview him. I'm never interviewing him. Like, if I do interview him, I'm making him pay me. And by the way, this is to anybody that wants an interview from me. If you hit me up asking for an interview, you're paying me. If I hit you up first and I ask you to interview, it's all free, Like I asked Mr. Vibemalls, what's your real name? Do you really want to share that information?
Yeah, CJ. You can call me CJ.
CJ. I had an interview with someone, and their real name showed up on the Zoom call, and the whole interview, they were like, just don't upload the interview. And I was like, are we gonna redo it? 3 months later, and we still haven't fucking done another interview.
Oh my god.
Just because their real name. It was a boring ass interview anyways, so I hope they're not watching this.
That's fucking funny, dude.
Yeah.
Let's answer some of the questions that
Yeah, I was gonna wait till the
left.
30-second mark, and like here we are. I mean the 30-minute mark, and I was gonna wait till 30 minutes. So
How long has it been going on so far?
30 minutes 30 seconds. All right. This is the first question on here. Worst drug trip.
Worst drug trip. Oh my god, it actually happened recently.
From
So,
Dylan Czar.
funny story. I buy all my acid from my brother, Cash, and whenever he has it, he doesn't always have it. So he told me that there was like these little gummy strips, right? He told me that he triple dipped these things, and I guess the amount that I thought was triple dipped was not as potent as it was. And before this, I had taken acid at least 10 or 12 times. I've never had a bad trip before. And like 30 minutes in, I could already tell something's up. Like I could almost hear my heart beating. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna calm down. Remember, I'm on acid. I'm riding the wave, not trying to control it. And it just didn't stop, and it kept going on and it going on. And then the trip started to induce, and like this, me hearing my heartbeat would just not fucking go away, and I started to freak out. I thought I was having like a heart attack. I kept trying to remind myself, like, hey, you're on acid, shut the fuck up, stop worrying. Keeps going on and on and on. And later and later, my vision just starts getting more impaired and more woozy and more like tripped out and stuff. And then like probably 2 hours later, my vision literally looked like a fucking kaleidoscope, bro. And I kept hearing this sound in my head, skadoosh, 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 skadoosh.
Was it echoing? Was the skadoosh
sound,
echoing?
Skadoosh, 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 skadoosh. And this was going on for like 8 hours. I was hearing this over and over and over and over and over again. Skadoosh, skadoosh, skadoosh. And I felt like I was like dropping over and over again. I felt like I was dropping into my bed, bro. I was bawling my eyes out. It was so fucking scary, bro. I was freaking the fuck out. I even accepted my own death. I was like, you know what? I'm fucking dying tonight, bro. My mom was in like the other room, and I'm like, if I tell her she's gonna try to bring me to the fucking hospital or some shit, I don't want this. So I'm just like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna die. Whatever. And it fucking lasted like 25 hours of me just skadoosh, 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 skadoosh.
You just accepted your fate.
I eventually fell asleep. And I got over it. And then I tried it again like 3 days later. I tried to like avenge myself, and then I fucking forgot that you can't take acid. You have to wait like a fucking week ahead of time because of the fucking spinal fluid in your back. And I wasted. It was actually 2 of them. It wasn't like 3 of them. No, I take it back. It was one fucking strip. It was one strip. And that fucking did that whole horrible fucking trip. But I honestly don't have anything against fucking acid, dude. I think acid is one of the best drugs that I have ever taken. It has given me enlightenment beyond explanation. I mean, it's helped me overcome my depression. It's helped me overcome my anxiety. It's helped me be who I am today. I say this wholeheartedly. I would not be who I am today if I didn't have acid. It's helped me in so many different ways. But yeah. I do want to say it is a drug, and you can have a bad experience with it. Because I almost felt like I was Superman, you know what I mean? Because I had like 12 trips, and I've never had a fucking bad trip before. And I did like fucking 1,000 UD trips, and I didn't have a bad fucking trip. And then I just did out of nowhere. So I think it kind of snapped me back into reality that I'm not fucking Superman over here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I've heard that like I've read articles about how like other type of psychedelic drugs such as psilocybin mushrooms actually are a better way of treating certain like mental illnesses compared to the actual
Oh, totally.
just the normal pills that they give you. I've read up on articles on that and how the scientific community is kind of looking at this sort of a falsified and horribly ran war on drugs and how
Right.
it's like this really the way I describe it is like the people that were this is how it really went down is the after the prohibition ended like the task force in the government that was like meant to like crack down on alcohol, they had nothing to do,
Right.
and they were gonna lose their jobs.
Exactly.
So they just
Yep.
decided to go for all these other, substances and demonize them.
Like weed and
Weed was the first
fucking
one,
LSD.
and then in the
Yeah, weed was
'60s,
the first one.
the right wing government did think, okay, how are we gonna make the left wing look bad? Okay, we're gonna make we're gonna make those hippies as substances. We're gonna outlaw them. We're gonna make these hippies look bad. That's a real thing. I'm listening to a book on a task force in the CIA called Chaos, which was like this thing oriented to sort of demonize the anti-war movement and make the anti-war movement look horrible. And
don't smoke weed, you might put your baby in the oven.
Yeah, and they'd have these slogans run around like, and there's this instance where I think it's at Berkeley, and they'd even try and like make set up these fake sort of shootings with like the Black Panther parties, this civil rights movement at the time, and they
I know the Black Panthers are.
Yeah, so they called there is this movement that goes against the Black Panthers, and I forget what they were called. They called them, told that the police called the movement against the Black Panthers and said that there are 2 Black Panthers at Berkeley and they killed a couple white students there. They just told them that, right? Which is a false thing. That never happened. The Black Panthers never did that.
Right.
So in the movement that was against the Black Panthers, I forget what they were called, sort of white supremacist group, they go to the Black Panthers and they just shoot 2 random black guys in Berkeley.
Shit.
That was all orchestrated by the police. LASSO, the Los Angeles Sheriff's.
I believe it.
Los Angeles Sheriff's Office, LASSO. Like in this, I'm not saying like all government's bad, but in the '60s, there's a lot of instances where we have been the worst government ever, and how we've kind of just like become, in a way, like there's a lot of fucked up things. You got the whole MK Ultra, the mind control program, and like that's a real thing. That's not a conspiracy theory. A lot of people, like, if they hear me talk about something that's not really commonly talked about, they're like, "Oh, you're a conspiracy theorist." But like, I feel like conspiracy theories are kind of like politics. You don't have to be on one side or the other. You don't like if you think that JFK was shot by more than one person, that doesn't mean that you automatically have to think that we never went to the moon and that the earth is flat.
Right.
That there's many. It's like politics. Like if you can be pro-choice and be pro-gun law. You can be pro-gun or something like that. You can be for the Second Amendment. And I don't know. I just like that's just my little rant.
I get what you mean.
That's just my little rant. I'm sorry I had to sit through that.
Nah. I completely appreciate it. I get what you mean. 100%.
Yeah. So what made you realize you doing covers was what you like doing? That's from Richard. I don't know. Okay.
So,
sorry. Yeah.
Back in 2017, what I started doing is actually the way I started out was I started making saga edits. Back in 2017, I was only listening to fucking Suicide Boys. Suicide Boys was all I fucking listened to. I love Suicide Boys, bro. They're my shit. And I just started making the saga edits, inspired by a friend of mine. I forget who it was, but I just started making them. And this guy told me that they were really good and I should make some more. I only planned on making like a couple. And so that's literally all I fucking made. That was like my niche. I would only make saga covers. And
Yeah.
It wasn't until like 2018, after I met Cash, that he actually pushed me to try to find my own uh, originalness, something I can do for myself, something I love. And it took until like probably a couple of months ago, actually, of me actually finding. Because if you look at my page and go all of my art, I have so many different types of styles of art. When you
You
go
can
on
see
my
the
page,
evolving if you look
yeah, you
through it.
can see the evolvement, and there's just all different types of shit that I've done. And I was literally just experimenting for like 2 years, trying to find what my niche was. I don't know. There's just something about creating. I love creating.
You
I'm
think you
also
found it now?
yeah. Oh no, definitely horror art. That's my shit. I love doing it.
It's got that
But
Tales of the Crypt
I'm so
vibe, you
obsessed
know.
with creating. Yeah,
Pietistic shit.
everything about creating things. Like, I love photography. I'm a side photographer. I haven't done it in a while since COVID, but I love doing photography. I actually just shot my first music video a couple months with Cash. I thought that was pretty awesome. It was a very wild experience because I didn't think that making a music video was as like detailed and difficult as I thought it was. Like I thought it was a lot easier. Like I thought I just had this plan in my mind and then bring it into fruition. But it's a lot more fucking complicated than it really seems as video shooting. And we shot it all on my fucking phone. I just had like this tripod or whatever. And I don't know, just something about creating just gets me going. It's how I express myself. It's like about 2 weeks ago, I was so fucking pissed. I don't even know what I was pissed off about. I was angry, bro. I was furious. I just go and I make some fucking cover art, bro. And by the end of it, I'm like 3 hours down, I finish it. I was completely calm. Like I was in a really good mood. I was happy. It's just how it's my fucking outlet. I'm creating things. It's my outlet. It's how I express myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So Deadwood Glicks asked a similar question of what inspired you to make art. I feel like that answered that as well. So Deadwood
Yeah, yeah,
Glicks,
yeah.
I hope you're satisfied because I'm
That's
not
my
gonna make
homie.
him
That's my homie
restate
right
that.
there.
Yeah. Plan.
Shout,
This is a really
shout
good
out Dead Boy
question.
Glicks.
Underscore
What's
Wi-Fi
up?
password says plans for 2021 with your brand.
My brand. Okay, so from the story, I've actually made clothing before. I've designed clothing through through this website called Teespring, and I never wanted to really put money into it. And this website actually let me. If they took like, I think they took like 40% of whatever I made, but I still was able to make clothing for free. And I think I've made close to like $1,000 on clothing, which I'm not trying to brag or anything about it. I'm just saying like
For real?
it,
Like
it
it's
was
up
a
there
good, it was
now?
a, yeah,
You can also buy Mike
yeah,
Media Incorporated merch from teespring.com. Link below. Or it's in my link tree as well. I've probably only made
anyway,
$30 from that, but
but I've designed so many different other things, but then I actually bought a sweatshirt of mine, and then I realized how fucking low quality they actually are. And but I mean, it's really good quality for not putting any money into it.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
I actually have this buddy, Clyde. Shout out Clyde, by the way, belowcult.com. He sent me some free clothes, and this dude is super super nice guy, and we've been talking. I've been supporting him for a really long time, and his clothes are just the quality of them. They're just so. I'm actually wearing this fucking one of his shirts right now, uh, and they're just so fucking comfortable. And he puts quality over anything, and that's exactly what I want to do. So I'm just waiting until I can put money into my clothing. I can go find a clothing shop near me or something and actually make clothing that I want to wear because I want to make
Better
clothing that is
material, better
comfortable and
process,
also
better
look
made.
sick and also fucking look sick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So whenever I can start putting money into my clothing, that is what I'm gonna do. And I actually want to start doing it with Cash. Me and him have a bunch of ideas that we want to put together, and he actually designed some really really sick merch, dude. Some fucking fire shit.
Fantastic. Elevated Quattro. He asked what made you want to do art. We kind of already answered it again. So if I see something that
Uh-huh.
we already answered, I'm just gonna like state their name.
Yeah, no
So
problem.
if they're watching, they're satisfied. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah,
actually,
yeah,
Elevated Quattro, a big supporter of mine. A lot of the people that ask the questions are huge supporters of mine. I actually pride myself in
yeah. Cause like
having like a
scrolling,
community.
scrolling through my feed and seeing your art is like a very satisfying thing. You know, it gives me a little tingle.
I
I'm like,
appreciate
oh
that.
shit, Vibemalls. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate that. I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Elevated Quattro asked another question. He's got two more questions. Art influences.
Mm, I don't necessarily have art influences, but I do have like the style of mine is actually very inspired by uh Ramirez. Actually a lot of the rappers have done the photo manipulation style. Devilish Trio, Ramirez, all these artists do this photo manipulation style, and I actually got into it. Not actually, they inspired me to start going harder at it, but I literally just inspired myself just by working hard and trying to find my own niche. You know what I mean? If you talk about people that I'm inspired by, definitely my brother Cash. He has inspired me. I mean, he was the one that literally pushed me to make my own style and not stretch away from saga edits and do my own type of thing. Like I swear I would not have done that if it wasn't for him. So shout out Cash. He is my biggest inspiration.
Outstanding. What age did you start?
Let's see. So
Another
I'm
Elevated
18,
Quattro.
almost 19 now. So I want to say 15 to 16.
The cover art is when you started.
Yeah, 15 to 16.
What year was that?
I'm like 18. 2017.
Alrighty. Um, Wi-Fi password comments. What was your first cover art that you remember?
So it wasn't even cover art, but it was actually an edit. I found this thing on Pinterest of this lady eating. This lady in her nightgown. She was on the floor in her kitchen, opening the fridge, and she was eating food. And I literally just put in big bold letters, "weed," and then I put like a filter over it, and then I posted it. It took like 2 minutes.
All right.
That's how I started, man.
Evan underscore TFT kind of gave two questions that have already been answered. It's what are your primary inspirations and when did you start creating your art? Already been answered, but thank you for submitting a question, Evan. RCN.XIOR comments. I'm pretty sure I understand what this guy's saying. It's sexual something water boys versus
That's how the Water Boys.
yes, shallow water boys versus goth boy click.
Definitely says how the Water Boys. I mean, the only people from Goth Boy Clique that I know of are Lil Tracy and Lil Peep.
Yeah, and like fish narc and horsehead.
Yeah, and Young Goth, right?
Yeah, and young bro. I don't know if you heard of him. I'm joking, bro.
Definitely says how the Water Boys because you have both Xavier Wolf, Bones, Chris Travis. I was Tris Kravis.
Bro, I got
Fucking
into
Tris
like really
Kravis.
old Xavier Wolf, dude. I was listening to
Ethelwolf, like Ethelwolf shit.
Wolf, yeah, the 66.6 syllables. That is one of my favorite songs ever created.
Goated, man.
That's
So
that one
definitely
song
says
who's
how
like,
the Water Boys.
if any motherfucker got a motherfucker, I'm probably a motherfucker. I will be outside. I'm with it if you with a motherfucker. We could get it. I ain't trouble. Gonna give a fuck if you die. So go ahead and I promise I'll be
Love Big
alright.
Xavier Wolf, bro.
All I do is fight. Dude, I would kill to be at a
top three.
concert hearing that song, dude.
I would too. I would kill to be at a fucking Xavier Wolf concert. I haven't seen him live yet.
Yeah, so Dylan Zark asks, worst drug trip already been answered. Thank you, though, Dylan. Rick's shirt, I don't, oh my god, that guy. What made you realize doing covers was what you like doing? I mean, you kind of already answered that one.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Wi-Fi password says again plans for 2021 with your brand, but I'm pretty sure you just wanted to see make sure it's coming. We've seen
Mm-hmm.
another Dead Boy Glick says what inspired you to make art. Already been answered. This shit's getting annoying. But whatever. I'm just happy to even care to even
Exactly.
biggest inspirations besides Suicide Boys, of course. I think you kind of went down that, did you?
Mm-hmm.
Before you
Mm-hmm.
started making art, did you have ideas in your head about how to make them? Like before you started making them, did you kind of have like an idea of what you were going to get into?
No, not at all. Not a fucking clue, dude.
You just like
It's like
went
just trial and
and did
error.
it and did it and did it. When did you
Yeah.
get the first idea to make edits?
Um.
Lost Out Lucy, by the way.
Another really, really good friend of mine. Honestly, I don't know. I just what pushed me to do it is seeing. What pushed me to do it more? I don't know how I started, but what pushed me to do it more is seeing something that I like and having like people notice it and like appreciate it too. And I think that just made me feel like really good inside. I'm like, wow, I can actually make something and someone else appreciates something that I make and I like it too. Like, wow, this is such a cool
That
fucking thing.
mutual
So I just
appreciation.
kept doing it. The mutual appreciation, exactly.
Mutual appreciation. Anisu888's comments, when did you start? Already covered that. Anisu888 says, why do you do what you do? We kind of already covered that.
Mm-hmm.
Young
So
Slim says, yeah, Young Slim asks, is there anyone you want to work with but haven't yet? That's a good one.
Yes. I definitely want to work with Simpra.
Yes, bro.
I think his
dude. Bro,
what?
I'm obsessed with
we
Semper.
actually,
I'm obsessed with Semper.
we actually are probably gonna collab soon. I'm gonna make him a what you call it, a promo video, because he likes slasher edits to be in his promo videos, but he doesn't really edit them like on beat and stuff like that. He just puts them into the video and puts his music over it.
So he wants an on beat one.
Yeah, he wants something like that. We were talking about it a little bit, and actually also wants to collab with him on some cover art, because a lot of his cover art, he also uses photo manipulation. Like you'd be surprised at how common photo manipulation actually is.
Yeah, like I'm gonna pull up his
like,
cover art, and I'm just gonna like, there's the Seeker. I don't know what it takes from, but
yeah, the Seeker. It's from the Hatchet.
Out of Time takes from Scream.
Film.
You can clearly see that. I don't know what Infinite takes from. Teddy Slugs and Sempra, Keep Him Guessing, kind of has this sort of clown on it.
Right.
I love all of his.
And Crystal Lake, that's Jason, right? Isn't it Crystal Lake? Isn't that the lake that
Yeah, probably. I'm not very.
It's from a slasher movie. I know that.
Yeah. But I liked. He's got some very interesting art. I'm very interested to see what you can bring to that table. And also Sempra is like one of the. He has so little released, but he's so much better. He
goes hard on every song.
He's better than anybody in the XXL freshman. That's just the way.
Oh, I agree. I mean,
miles ahead of anybody.
I don't even listen to that kind of shit anymore. I mean, it feels so fucking spoon fed.
Yes, it's very overly, like, simplistic and repetitive. But like the thing about Sempra is like I hate fast rap, but when Sempra does it.
He does it so good.
It's done in a good way because it's over funk. Like, instead of like that normal, like, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not a fan of Eminem. Never cared to really listen to a lot of stuff. Never really got into it. I'm not a fan. Logic, I like him when he does not do his fast rap stuff. No Pressure is an example of when he doesn't do the fast rap stuff. Like, but and I'm not really like these people online do those whole like Godzilla 125% challenge. Like I don't care. Like keep it a stack. But
Right.
when Semper does it, the way he does, like he doesn't do it the whole song.
It's very unique.
Like he takes a break and he starts singing the hook or something like that, where you can actually
Right.
understand everything more clearly, and also that New Zealand accent brings a new spice. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
I am
Right.
obsessed with Semper.
Actually,
I know his old name, and I don't want to mention his old name because he gets very offended when you talk about his old music name. But
oh, okay.
a lot of music released under his old name, which he changed into his new name, like Haze. I Got Banned from Hell is a really good song. I'm not going to mention
Okay.
his old name, but that was like a really old song released by him, and it's still fire. And it still sounds fire. Yeah.
You know what I think you like? Hold on. I know you said you don't really like Eminem, but I think you would like if you listen to the Slim Shady LP. It's his first ever project
I
that he
like his
released.
old stuff, like the I'm Real Slim Shady, Yes I'm the Real
Yeah,
Shady.
yeah, like that horrorcore shit. I fucking love it.
He did horrorcore?
Yeah, dude.
Alright. So, um,
Yeah, my guy.
Curse Main
Any
said,
more questions?
Curse Domain says, what's the main inspiration for you? Oh my, you already asked. What is it that you do? Some Rec
What
Crypt says, what is it that you do?
I do everything, man.
He does everything.
I do video edits. I do cover art. I'm aspiring photographer. I'm actually getting a 3D Nishika camera next month for my birthday. I'm gonna start getting into film photography. I'm obsessed with creating. I love creating. I love being able to make something and bringing it into fruition and actually liking it. Like I don't know what it is about it. It's just either it's an outlet for me that or it's a way I can express myself. Both of those. It's fucking fun. It's the way I get into it and I tunnel vision, man. It's just I don't really know how to describe it.
I
That's the
hear the
best I can
enthusiasm.
describe it.
I hear the enthusiasm in the back of your voice, like when you start talking about the way you create. Like I hear this, you start talking fast, you get all excited. You know, that's that. I
I
feel
get
like
giddy.
I hear that. I hear evidence of that passion. Martinez 187 says, "How did you get into doing art?" We already talked about that, but the last question that we got is actually a pretty good one. What artist do you most enjoy doing cover art for? From Sophia Platt.
I enjoy working with everybody that requests cover up for me, but recently, I will say recently, I'm not going to put a superficial cap on this because I just enjoy working with my supporters and working with customers. But recently, Cursed Man, Young Slim, and Jake Ohm have been the most frequent people that work with me, and we've been coming up with some really just fire stuff. Jake, especially, I don't know what it is, just the way because he knows how I work, he knows how I think. I feel like, or at least a little bit, he can very much put into words exactly what he wants to the point where he knows that it's not too much to ask for. Because with phonon manipulation, when people ask for extraordinarily specific things, I have to unfortunately tell them that I can't do that because they want like extraordinarily specific things. I'm like, dude, I can't draw this, so I have to find the image, I have to find the artwork for this. Just the way that me and him connect, it's awesome. He actually does all the font work for me. He did that. The my most one of my most recent pieces, the Ramirez Chun Li one. He actually did the cover art, not the cover art, the font work for that. And he's just such a fucking cool guy, dude. I love working with Jake.
So you say Jake sort of provides realistic expectations for you, knowing how your process is so well and
Yes,
sort of
yes,
a huge amount of experience. So he kind of gives you that realistic expectations. So he's not
exactly.
giving you something that he know you can't do.
Yeah, yeah.
That sounds good. So like you're not pressured by working with him.
Right, but I never want to discourage anybody at all, even if they do have something really specific. I don't want to discourage them for asking for a commission of a certain thing, because usually what will happen is that they'll ask for the certain thing, and then we'll find a common ground based off their idea, and then I make something, but more like freestyle, kind of directly based off of their request, but not exactly. And then I make it for them, and they fucking love it. I mean, the only time that I've ever had a dissatisfied customer was that guy that ripped me off.
Yeah.
Thou who shall not be named. We'll just call him Voldemort.
Yeah. Yeah. Voldemort. Yeah. What are they?
Thou
Who shall not be named.
named.
Thou
Yes.
who shall not be named. Yeah, this is we were at the hour mark. This is a fantastic interview, Mr. Vibemalls, or CJ.
CJ, you can call me CJ.
Yeah, I remember that, CJ. Yeah, you actually told me it before. I forgot. So, oops.
Well, I appreciate it. This interview / podcast has been really fun. I was actually really nervous about it because I've never done anything like this. And even when I talk to my customers or supporters, we never fucking talk on the phone or anything. And I really appreciate how me and you can connect on not only a level of talking about my art, my cover art, but more personal things. Like, we have connected through our interview. We've connected through the music that we listen to, the people that both me and you are familiar with, like Sempra. We both fucking love Sempra. And I do appreciate that. I appreciate you reaching out to me. It's definitely an experience, one for the books. I've never done anything like this, and I will definitely remember it, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate you reaching out, Mike. Definitely giving you a big shout out, making sure everybody that I fucking know goes to this podcast. And I want them to listen to it. But other than that, man, I want you to have a really good night, really good day. I hope your editing process goes well and your computer doesn't fucking break again.
This screen recording is pretty fire. I don't think I need to edit a million things. I'm just going to upload it to how it is, because this was like the words are above everything. Like, really?
Right.
That's what I want to focus on. It's not too much. I've done videos where there's a lot of editing. But anyways, let's just kind of wrap this up. So, on Instagram, link below. It's just Vibemalls, and also, just follow him, and you'll just scroll down your feed, and you'll be like satisfied if you see something that he posts. It's very crazy,
also,
awesome.
one thing.
Yes.
One thing I want to touch on. We didn't really talk about that. We're going to talk about, but that's okay. We talk about a bunch of different other things. It's that you might have noticed that I put but I put a lot of different music over my art. And I actually recently found out that there are some people that don't even just follow me for my art. They follow me because they love the music that I post.
Yeah, I've been put on by you a lot of the times. Like, a lot of people, like Jake Ohm, found from you.
I don't necessarily know how I started doing that, but it's just become such a common thing that I cannot do cover art without putting some kind of song over it. It makes the vibe of my cover art so much better, but I also like doing like that second panel to where you don't have to listen to the cover art. You can just swipe to the left of it, and you can see the cover art for itself. You know what I mean? I also love doing that.
I got a suggestion.
Yeah.
Just bear with me. All right.
Okay.
You know Memphis 666?
Yes.
Do that.
The YouTube channel?
You should do that.
What do you mean?
Have a YouTube channel with like 1 hour of funk tunes, like once every month or some bullshit, and have your cover art on front. Or so I don't know. I have a
collective.
But yeah.
I have an Instagram collective of underground music. You can actually go check it out. It's called Malls Vibe. And I post all types of artists. I post Pouya, Xavier Wolf, Bones, Suicide Boys, Ramirez. I just posted an Omen song. All different types of underground artists. There's Germ, there's Black Smurf, Devilish Trio. All my underground artists that I listen to, I post it out on this page. You can go check it out if you want to, man. It's actually, the link is in my Vibemalls bio. I'll send it to you after this. Anyway, man, it's been fucking fun. I appreciate you. Have a nice night, Brett.
Yeah, stick around after I'm wrapping up the recording and all that. So
Yep.
See you guys in the next podcast.